are stuffs you need to use, or will I say patterns you need to use to build applications that make it good for, that make it fit or make it scalable. When I mean scalable, say look at Paystack. When you build a project or a product and you want to sell it, and a company wants to acquire it, you know, the funny truth is that they don't just look at the product that is working, you know, right? They take their time and go through your code. Who knows that? Do you know? They take time and go through the fucking code that you've written that is fucking working. And then they can even not use Flutter. I don't need to learn the new stuff. So my daily routine is just to learn new stuff in Flutter. Do you get? So if you should, I see people on LinkedIn that call themselves Flutter developers. They can build web app like Gmail. You know Gmail is a web app, right? And Flutter, sorry, don't mistake this. Flutter can't be used for websites, but web apps. Like Figma, you know Figma, this Figma site, figma.com. That's a web app. Flutter can do that. Give you awesome, and I know there are Flutter developers here. So Flutter gives you that fitness for you to call yourself a full stack developer. And thank God for Firebase Analytics, Crashlytics, Test Labs, and whatsoever. You know, once you are someone that makes use of Google products, as I do, you get to like, if you know Firebase, there are a lot of tools inside it, right? Both for testing, analytics, monitoring, and whatsoever. So, in optimizing, back to the topic, sorry, I know I don't have much time, so I'm going to talk about the most important ones. Okay, I think this is very important. If only you can get to the state management, please. Exactly, state management, not this one. Okay, this. You know, one of the reasons I decided to take this talk is because of, are there Flutter developers here? Please, Flutter developers, any? Blessed mine, there are very few. After this section, you're going to start building Flutter apps. Yes, a lot of people in Onitsha started building Flutter, that they signed up to start building Flutter apps. So one of the query you start getting into your head is state management tool to use. That's one, and how to make use of it efficiently to build a scalable app. There are tons and tons of state management tools. You know of Redux, Riverpod, Block, Provider, whatsoever. And a lot of beginners always ask this question: what should I learn? What does the job market need, or whatsoever? And most of them get to use GetX and Provider. I don't know if there are Flutter developers are hiding here. I like having in-depth talk about Flutter, because the truth is, the marketplace for developers is getting very, very, I don't know, how will I put it? You can be a developer for 5 years and you don't yet have a job, right? It's not because you don't know how to write code. It's because when you submit your CV, send your GitHub repo, or send your GitHub account, then the recruiter goes through your whatsoever, your repos and blah, 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 all of those stuff. It doesn't entice them. It doesn't have, I've been able to recruit for companies, I've recruited for a startup, and I've seen someone that has a very bad CV and someone that has a very good GitHub account. And I went through the codes. I was like, wow, this guy is good. Even if you copy the code, I don't care. Copy the code, make it to work. Good. I don't care if you copy it from ChatGPT. In as much as it's working and you can maintain it, I'm okay with it. If you want to copy it, in as much as you can be able to give me exactly what I want. You know, when you see a code written by a junior developer and a code written by a senior developer, you will know, right? You know, right? Most senior developers like to use switch. Most of them like to use if. But when you see a code written by someone that is still learning, you still know. So there's a way that you can actually be a junior developer and ship codes that can actually be like a senior dev. When I started doing this, what I do is I write a code, I write a class, and when I was mastering Solid, you know about Solid, right? Solid principle. When I was mastering it in that, what I do is when I start learning it, I'll write a class, I'll copy to ChatGPT, and I'll tell ChatGPT, please, can you help me rewrite this class obeying Solid principles? Companies in EU don't hire you or give you projects for you to write without obeying some kinds of stuffs. Then ChatGPT will give you the stuff, single class, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know them again. To give it to you, you see it the first time, you see it the second time. Naturally, the third time you build a product, you obey it. So that's how to start optimizing your code. I don't know if that's what I'm talking about. So, okay, I think it's on the previous one. That way, you are using that, you know, this talk is almost all about AI. So that way, you are utilizing AI to help you build a scalable app. You know, right? Not just using ChatGPT to ask some silly questions. You can use it and be a better developer. You know, right? You can use ChatGPT and build and write. Okay, say this. You have an endpoint, API endpoint. I was discussing with one of the developers here. You have an API endpoint that returns JSON format, and you are building something that you need to push within 2 weeks. You can send that endpoint to ChatGPT and tell it to model it for you. Actually, from JSON to JSON, all of those stuff. You know, right? You know, right? So the simple truth is that we can also use everything in this slide because of time. All of them, most of them, are things I learned through AI. Code splitting your UI from your logic. A lot of Flutter developers have a UI. You know a UI, right? You have a UI. Okay, let's relate from HTML. You have a HTML page, then you're writing your script inside your HTML page for you to do something. If it is possible for you to separate your UI from your logic, it's very easy for that code to be maintained, you know, right? It's very easy for that code to be transferred to someone else. If you die, like you can be, even if you enter, even if you fly, it's very crazy, you know. Wait, the truth is, a company have not hired you to start writing a code or start scaling an app built by one guy from Akwa Ibom. You will suffer. Goodness me. You call the guy privately to help you. You call them, guy, please, this function, what does it do? This one, what does it do? This one, outside normal procedure, outside normal protocol. You make friends with the guy just to understand what he has done for the past 3 years. Who has done that? I do it personally. Let's say Jumia now, as it is, one of us gets a project or an appointment or a contract to possibly, they have an app, right? And Jumia gives it to you to scale or add some features. If the app is not written very well, not just well documented, if you suffer, that's the simple truth. You suffer. You start Googling the name of the developer who wrote it. And that is one of the reasons you need to optimize your code. So, okay, the most important one, wait, if you can take you back, can you help me take you back, please? Backwards. Okay, testing is very important. And I think that will be it, and then I'll wrap up. You know, testing your app is very essential. A lot of us developers, we build something, we pick up our phone, we run it, it's working, that's it, we ship, we commit, we open pull request, they merge it. Someone that is using Sony 111 screen like that, or a new, possibly foldable device, test it, and it's very awful, right? And then you start optimizing a code or start making pull requests when the project already is in production. And that's very crazy. You can't put your section in what they call that website. We are constructing. Wait, that's almost all Nigerian websites. You see, we're under construction. Wait, you wait for 2 hours, 3 hours. They're trying to make changes. So when you test your app, you can write tests that can test app on possibly different screens. Test your app, write unit tests, widget tests, or integration tests. How it runs is, for us developers, I can build a full app, say an app that helps you, what's the smallest app I can think of? An app that can help you find dogs. I think that's one I built for people in Poly. An app that can help you find dogs, all kinds of breeds, select a breed, select the subbreed, it gives you dogs and blah, blah, blah. You've written it right, it's working right. Possibly you can give it to your wife or your girlfriend to test. That's what all of us do. She will test it, give it to your guy, he tests it, using one phone like that, and it's working, you ship it, and you start still getting bad reviews on App Store and Google Play Store. Have you checked it? You see good apps that good developers spend their time, and somebody will be giving it, this app is loading, it's not loading, is this one, is this one. Start giving it 1 or 0 rating, or half. But the app was being built and it's nice, right? It's because of testing. I think that will be it. You can find all of these talks. Okay, you can dive into Flutter. Flutter is very easy. And the job market, see, if you dive into Flutter, I'm Ato and Anthony, I help you find a job. That's the simple truth. If you enter Flutter Slack community, as of this afternoon, when I was still checking, because I normally go there to check for gigs, their Discord and their Slack, they always drop jobs. I'm very serious. And that's not just the reason for you to move into it. So you can find me on LinkedIn, actually only on LinkedIn. That's where I post a lot of stuff about Flutter. And you can use it and leverage your skill set. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So sorry about it.
Anybody who will type it, just hold on to it. You will read what they wrote there for us. All right, so at this time, we're going to take a panel session and we're going to talk about money. Hello. You don't want to talk about money again? Your food is already beside you, Abby. So you will get your food. Now we're going to take a quick panel session, but before we take the panel session, I need someone to join me upstage. Please put your hands together as I welcome a woman who by next week Saturday will be hosting the women in this hall. And she's the founder of Her Tech Trail, an organization that builds sustainable tech careers for black women globally. She's a technical product manager who help organizations build and ship scalable tech globally. She's also a co-organizer of GDG Cloud and the community manager for Atlassian, makers of Beats, Buckets, Trello, and the rest. With over 10 years of experience, she also finds fulfillment in helping techies succeed in tech. Please, can we put our hands together for the woman I call the brain and beauty, our own Gloria Ojukwu. Yeah, she has just a word for Naso. I don't tell her whatever the husband is doing, please tell him to do it more. All right, she's married.
Praise the Lord. I know we are hungry, right?